What's up everyone, back for another beer review, and today I will be reviewing yet another beer from the Other Half Brewing Company, and they are out of both Brooklyn and East Bloomfield, New York, along with Washington, D.C., and this is their high-density hop charge Fluctuation. So they're calling this one a double IPA that comes in at 8.1% alcohol by volume. No IBUs listed in time of review. This can is just over 1 month old. So this is one of Other Half's most recent Freaky Friday releases. So basically what a Freaky Friday release is they will take the base recipe of a beer from another brewery, and in this case Equilibrium's Fluctuation, and they will put their own spin on it. And in this case, they're doing the high density hop charge treatment with a crap ton of Citra hops. So really excited to get into this one. I have reviewed Equilibrium's Fluctuation on the channel. Really enjoyed that. I think I gave it like a 4.25, 4.3. I don't remember much about it other than it was pretty dank, like onion, garlicky, but tons of tropical fruit. So with a boatload of Citra, I don't know how this one's gonna go, but I am here for it. So let's give it a little bit of a roll here, crack it open. It does have the blue tab, which means East Bloomfield brewed. Let's give it a pour. Yeah, so it's come, it gets kind of redundant to, say what these beers look like so many times when you review a lot of beers from, say, Treehouse and Other Half and Equilibrium and Hop Butcher. But yeah, this looks like an Other Half, hazy, but it's a bit darker. That it has this old school honey orange color that a lot of Other Half beers had like a couple years ago when I was reviewing them. About 1.5 fingers to 2 fingers of this very lightly tan, creamy looking head. Just that head looks beautiful. And yeah, it's very murky, turbid. It plays the role of a hazy. Let's get a nose. Ooh. Okay, so, it's funny because this is giving me the good friend of mine, fellow beer tuber, Matt over Massive Beer Reviews. I haven't used this tasting note in a long time, but it's giving me that water nerd treatment that I get from Equilibrium beers. I've gotten it from Old Nation beers. It just has, to me, this really nice, soft, kind of orange sensation to it, almost slightly acidic. 100% getting that there. This smells to me kind of like a Equilibrium brewed beer. Man. Over top of that, really fleshy, creamy, just tropical fruits like papaya, honeydew melon, stone fruit like a mango, creamy mango. There's this really resinous, earthy kind of character too, like resiny, earthy hop character. There's also a malt sweetness here that is like a big, like bready, almost biscuity type of malt sweetness. Maybe even like a honey malt sweetness. Man, you know what? It's been so long since I've reviewed an Equilibrium beer. It's been well over a year, maybe like 1.5 years. And it's been a long time since I reviewed some of their classic. I think I did MC Squared and this on the channel. And let me just say, this smells like an Equilibrium beer to me. It's kind of crazy. I didn't anticipate that because, they're brewing this one at East Bloomfield and they're giving it the HDHC Citra treatment, but it's reminding me of an Equilibrium beer just off of the memory of the smell. Yeah, it smells fucking pretty good. Let's get into it. Cheers, everyone. It's really nice. Ooh, I really like that finish and that aftertaste. Yeah, so the body on this one's a little bit bigger. It's like a little bit over medium, approaching low full. Has a big heft behind it. There's a little bit more of a viscous kind of body than I really anticipated, even though this is 8.1%. Another thing I didn't mention, I think when I looked on Instagram, it said 8.5%. I think they're, obviously they use the labels of the brewery that they're, doing the base recipe from. So I think the regular Fluctuation is 8.1, but maybe this HDHC version is 8.5 and they didn't account and put it on the label. Not that it's 0.4% difference, not a huge difference, but I thought I'd just mention that. Assuming that is the case. So, like I said, body's a little bit bigger. The mouthfeel, it's really soft and smooth. There's almost like a creamy aspect, but really soft and smooth in this one. I mean, there's carbonation because it's a beer, but it's so inviting on the palate. It has such a nice softness to it. Tastes right at the forefront. I'm getting a little bit like the honey malt sweetness, or just like a sweeter malt sweetness, like almost like a honey bread kind of sweetness. But that hits me right away, and then it carries on through the palate, but it's an underlying note right over top of that. A lot of orange tones to this one. There's a little bit of like I was talking about in the taste, it has this like creamy, fleshy kind of fruit to me. So more of like a papaya, a honeydew melon, a mango, and that hits like almost around mid palate. Then on the back of the palate, on the finish, that's where that earthy resinous kind of hop character kicks in. And you're left with a mild to moderate bitterness, a slightly dry finish, but more mild to moderate. And when I said the finish was great, those sweet, fleshy, creamy fruits kind of come back around and hit me in the back of the palate again. So I get that mid palate, but then they kind of sneak in the back, and it's more of a honeydew melon and papaya. It's those creamy, fleshy, sweeter, like over-ripened versions of those on the back of the palate. Very easy to drink, 8.1%, 8.5%. You can't tell. The only reason I can tell this is bigger is the body and the mouthfeel, and specifically the body, like I said, it's a little bit bigger than I anticipated. I don't know what the Citra is doing here. But this is not as dank and resinous from that aspect. Like it doesn't have like that garlic, onion, like ranky dank type of thing that I got in the original Fluctuation. There's a very small kind of hint of that, but that's more in that like earthy resinous tone on the back of the palate. As I keep on drinking, maybe a little bit of that like that onion kind of ranky dank thing, but very small. Yeah, it's really good. Is it mind-blowing to me? No. Is this better than the original Fluctuation? It's probably very similar into how I'm enjoying it to different levels. Like I said, I don't think it's as big as ranky dank as that one, but I think this one's maybe a little bit more well-balanced. It's not too sweet, even though there's a lot of malt sweetness throughout the palate. That almost moderate bitterness on the back of the palate, and that earthy, resinous hop tone on the back of the palate kind of stops it from being too sweet. But this is a really good beer. Like I can't sit here and really complain too much about it. Maybe I'd want, maybe a little bit more intensity to it. Maybe something going, like, again, the water profile in this one seems like it's literally like a equilibrium brewed beer, but they did it at Other Half. So I don't know, maybe that's just, I have no idea. I can't explain that other than voodoo. I don't know. Good beer though. So I have no problems giving the high density hop charge Fluctuation from Other Half Freaky Friday release. I am going to we'll go straight 4.25 out of 5. I think that's a fair score. I mean, again, this is not a mind-blowing beer to me, but I think what they took from, Equilibrium's base Fluctuation recipe, I think they changed it up slightly, but this is very reminiscent outside of that onion garlic thing for me. So yeah, pretty good. Price and availability. The price point was $22 for a pack for this. It is pricey. I don't think I'd personally pay that much for this beer again. You're talking $5.50 a can. For something that's a 4.25 out of 5, probably not. But if this was $20 or less, yeah, I would definitely buy it. Availability, I believe these were brewery only. Maybe you could, whether it's in Washington, Brooklyn, or East Bloomfield, I think you could order them online. I don't know if they shipped them, but I'm pretty sure these are long gone, and they'll totally be long gone by the time I post this review, which might not even be in 2021. This review might be posted in 2022. So if you've had this one before, though, let me know what you think about it. If you're somebody who drinks Fluctuation regularly, like if that's a beer maybe you're close to Equilibrium, you drink a lot of Equilibrium, how do you think this beer compares to the base? Because again, I've only had Fluctuation a couple times. I've reviewed it once, and this is the first time having this beer. And again, I think it's reminiscent of Fluctuation, but I think it has some different kind of characters to it. So I'm really enjoying this one. So I appreciate everybody stopping by for another beer review here on the Beer Patrol. To the next one. Cheers.